Right. So the turning effect, first we need to know what is meant by the rotation. So this is a simple diagram given here, right? So there's going to be a pivot. So which means this is the place where the object is going to be rotated, or we can say it is the place where the object is fixed, right? And we are applying a force. So therefore, uh, a turning effect will be there. So it is known as the moment or torque, right? Then we are dealing with the perpendicular distance. So remember this point, right? We need to get the perpendicular distance, not the angle distance. Okay. And here, this is the equation. So the moment will be equal to F into D, right? So if we consider about the units, this is going to be measured in newtons and distance is going to be measured in meters. So which means the unit is going to be Newton meters, right? Newton meters. So, but in some sort of calculations, they can give centimeters instead of meters as well, right? And here we can see how it changes, right? You can go through them and the state of equilibrium. Okay, so if equilibrium means like it is at a at a stable position. So as given in this diagram, you can see there's a flat surface, and here this is going to be considered as the rotating place or the pivot, right? So which means there will be a force applied due to this object downwards, and also there will be a force applied downwards like this, right? So in order to balance it, the force generated from side A must be equal to the force generated from side B, right? So from side A, there will be a clockwise movement, a clockwise rotation. And from side B, there will be an anti-clockwise rotation. So in order to be balanced, so as it is mentioned here, the total of clockwise moments must be equal to the counterclockwise or anti-clockwise moment, right? So remember this equation. This is not going to be given in the exam, but they will ask what is the assumption that you need to make, or what is the main theory behind being equilibrium like this, being at an equilibrium like this. So if they ask like that, then you need to write the clockwise moment must be equal to anti-clockwise moment. The clockwise moment must be equal to anti-clockwise moment. Then here some of the applications are given. You can go through it. I'm not going to focus more on that. And here we are discussing about the force of gravity, the center of gravity, right? GOC, center of gravity. So normally for the regular shaped objects, it will be the middle or the center of the object. So here you can see there's a cube given. So the center, that is the place where the weight is going to act, right? So center of gravity means that thing. The weight will be generated from there, and the weight will be acting towards the towards downside from the center of gravity, right? And this is something important, right? When it comes to the stability of an object, right? When there's an yeah, when we discuss about the stability of the object, so we need to make sure of these things, right? So first we need to have a wide base like this, and also the second requirement is that we need to get the center of gravity pretty much closer to the base, right? Or to the ground level. So here you can see narrow base, and the center of gravity is too far away from the base, right? Too far away from the level. So therefore, there can be a rotation like this, right? So therefore, it can fell down, right? And here, center of gravity at a low position, base width higher, right? And vulnerability hard to topple. It requires a massive external force to create a significant turning moment. But here, the center of gravity is at a higher position. Base width is narrow compared to the other one. And vulnerability. So if you just apply a small force here, then what will happen? This object will fall like that. Okay, so remember the points. So this is a good comparison. You can easily remember them. Okay. And here, this is the falling anatomy, or we can say the mechanism of falling, right? So here you can see the center of gravity is pretty much away from the level. So if you just give it a small power, what will happen? The place where it is touched, so this is going to be acting as the pivot, right? It is going to be acting as the pivot. So since you are getting the center of gravity force, so there will be a clockwise movement like this, and eventually this object will fall down, right? It will fall down. So remember, these type of calculations were given in the exam as well. So if you can remember, there was a question related to this where you had that garbage bin aligned like this, right? So go through those questions and get an idea, right? So this is the end of this lesson. So these are actually small lessons. So I'm not going to take more time from you guys. So please go through them. These are some important notes and valuable notes. So you can use these lecture slides as your short notes, as I mentioned, right? So please go through them. No need of remembering all the stuff that is given there. Use these lecture slides to memorize that to memorize what you have learned, right? So go through them, try to get a good result, right? So just tell me if you're having any sort of a question, you can ask it now. So there are so many calculations, so I'm not going to discuss about the calculations here. There's no need of doing that thing. So we have discussed so many calculations in the paper classes as well. So therefore, I'm not going to take more time from you guys, right? So please go through the lectures. These are concepts, right? Use these notes. I have uploaded them in the WhatsApp community. So please download them. No need of printing. If you need printouts, you can take it. Never mind. But somehow refer them and have a refreshed memory, right? That is the main thing. Have a refreshed memory. You don't need to remember all the stuff, right? Since these are application related, these are thinking subjects. So when it comes to physics and chemistry, you need to have that thinking power, right? You need to train your brain to that. So you are not going to memorize all the theory parts. That is the thing, right? So please refer most of the question papers and try to grab what is being tested there. Okay, so I'm going to end the session now. So this will be the end of the seminar series, and time to time I will be updating in the WhatsApp group as well. So please check the WhatsApp community and try to score a good grade in the coming exam, right? So thank you for joining. And if you're having any sort of a question, you can drop me a personal message. You all have my number, so I will be willing to help you guys out. Okay. So thank you for joining, and yeah, good luck for your exams. Okay.